looking for the latest and greatest technological advancements, the gym is probably the last place you'd look. It's one of those places where there have been a lot of fads, but not many real advances. That is until now. Today, I'm at American Iron in Reno. This is one of the most hardcore gyms around and home to internationally ranked powerlifters, bodybuilders, and strongmen. It's also the testing ground for a new type of fitness equipment that is creating a lot of buzz in the fitness industry. I was fortunate to have its inventor, John Bird, show me his machine. It's called the Electric Weight.
Since we are not registered in the machine for you, we can just behave as a guest.
Okay.
So the just exercise then would be a guest registration. You can have up to 4 concurrent workout people on the machine, but since this is a demonstration, we'll just simply go ahead and go. So
okay.
we'll just exercise and go.
And that the 4 people is so that you can work out together as a team.
Exactly,
okay.
Yes. And the only difference you would make would be the cable height adjustment, but generally speaking, people set up the workouts because they work out together. They leave it in one place, do their exercises, move it to the next exercise, and go from there. And then simply turn on the machine, and you're ready to exercise. The resistance for both the concentric and eccentric can be individually set, but it's actually set up such that if you drag the resistance mechanisms up, they will track each other.
Explain concentric and eccentric, just in case people don't know. So that's the up and the down.
Exactly right.
Okay.
It's the muscle shortening under load, which is your concentric, and lengthening under load, which is the eccentric motion.
Perfect.
So lifting up and lowering down is generally how people would look at it. So what we can do
in layman's
terms. So what we can do is we can set up a nice, easy exercise for you to get the feel of the machine itself.
Perfect.
And what we're looking at is that the machine should behave itself kind of like a cable machine with noise.
Okay.
And that should be the feel of the machine itself. So go ahead, and what we'll do is just have you lift. This will be a calibration so that we can set up your range of motion on the machine. And if you notice right here, the yellow bar is your calibration stroke, and then now the red. And generally speaking, people overshoot. They've never used the machine before.
Yeah.
We'll overshoot the first one.
That's how I feel. I feel like I'm going to punch myself in the face here in a second.
Exactly. So go ahead and lift up the bar to any position you want. You probably want it to be right about here.
Okay.
Here is curl. And then we can simply adjust that and go ahead and go down. And right about there. It looks good. One more time. Turns green and takes it on down. And you can see why the programmability of this is nice, because you do it one time, you save it in the machine, you never have to do this again. So go ahead and take it all the way down. This is actually a safety feature in here. And we go then back to the exercise page itself. And then from there, you can simply go ahead and exercise. So this will be about a 25-pound curl on a cable machine, so go ahead and do that. You'll see the screen switch. And there you go. And we also measure then the metrics. The concentric metric and the eccentric metric are going to be numbers predicated upon what you're doing. A little bit too much here?
I'm a weakling. I feel so bad, John. I'm not like you.
Well, the nice thing about this is we can change that. So go ahead and take it on down again.
Okay.
And what we'll do is simply reduce the weights, something that's a little bit more manageable for you.
Okay.
So let's take it down to about 15.
Okay.
And do the same thing on here. And we're going to do it one more time, but I'm looking for a feel that's nice and smooth for you.
Okay.
As just a regular baseline exercise. That's good there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now what you want to do is track that green line. The reason for that is because the research has indicated that your greatest strength, not all the way down, greatest strength is going to come from a 1 to 3 second eccentric motion.
Why is that?
Well, we don't know the why. It's biometrics. It's built into how we are. But this is a study that came out of Florida that indicated that you have a 1 to 3 second time window on the eccentric load. If you go faster on the eccentric, you don't really accomplish anything. You like just letting go of the weight. And if you go longer than about 3 seconds, you don't get stronger, but you do get tired. So the timer there is set up. It's an adjustable timer. It's set up to give you an idea. It's a little bit fast on the track there, and you didn't go all the way down your stroke. So we're maniacally chained.
There's no cheating on this, John.
You do not get to cheat. No, you do not get to do that. So now you kind of have a feel for it. You're pulling up, you're holding. That's really, really good. So let's take it on down all the way.
Okay.
What we're going to do now is we're going to overload the eccentric side.
Okay.
So whereas you were feeling like, gosh, I can hardly lift this up, that's going to be the limiting factor on your exercise itself. Generally speaking, what happens is people come in, they never lift before, they start to lift, they experience a bit of eccentric loading, they have some gains and stuff, and after about 3 to 6 months, they stop gaining anymore. It's like, well, where do I go from there? Well, you can't unless you have a way of overloading eccentric. That's how you get stronger. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a little bit of struggle on the 25 coming up. We're actually going to take that up to about a 35 going down. So when you bring it up,
you must be impressed with my biceps.
You're a beast. So you're going to pump, when you come up, be ready for it because it's going to load up and then try and track that green line coming down.
Okay.
Give it a shot. Feel that?
Oh, wow, yeah.
There you go. Come on, track that line. Way too fast.
Oh, yeah.
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. There you go, now you're getting it.
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
And you notice that it's not just your biceps that are being worked, but it's your entire core that's being worked.
I know, my stomach is shaking right now.
Yeah, and
not a good sign, huh?
Well, it's a huge benefit on the low overload training because it forces complete core and body unity in working out because you have to stop and load and lower that, which is an entire body workout.
Now, I'm used to I work out with Kaiser, which is air. Mm-hmm. Is this air or is this?
No, this is electromagnetic. So you're actually working against a DC motor. And the trick is to make the DC motor behave like a weight stack would behave. So it's real-time programmable resistance.
And this, I'm assuming, is also an opportunity for you to become stronger faster?
Exactly.
And then rehab. Is this a great opportunity for rehab?
Phenomenal for rehab, yeah, because what we do is, as you can feel, in fact, go ahead and take it all the way down.
Okay.
And we can literally extend this out if we're talking about like a rehab scenario where a person can't hardly lift up, but it can be loaded in the eccentric, which is very common in rehabilitation. A lot of times you'll have shoulder surgery or whatever where the person simply can't pull in, but they can resist being pulled out. We can literally take this down in extension, particularly this particular model, all the way down to 1 pound coming out, so that you literally be lifting 1 pound plus whatever the weight of that bar, which is probably about 7 or 8 pounds right down there. So let me take it down just so you can kind of feel it.
Oh wow, look at that.
Exactly, and it literally falls out because that 1 pound is exceeding the weight of this right here. Let's go ahead and clip this out and you can kind of get an idea of it. And we'll retract the cable here. And you get a feel for like a rehabilitation type of an event where you would pull out with your finger, and we'll just do like a 1 in 10.
Okay.
So just go ahead and pull out with your finger, do the same stroke that we had set up. And feel how light that is coming out, and go ahead and pull it back in, let it just come back in. You'll notice that it drops right out and it will not finish your retraction. So even with like your finger, you can literally, in fact, go ahead and move back a little bit.
Okay.
And just like very gently lift it in and feel that as you're coming back out. I'll take it all the way in. There you go, exactly.
This is...
Now let's take it all the way back in and you'll see by the eccentric, go ahead and just let go of that. And what we do then is here, by increasing the eccentric loading, that's 10 pounds, 20 pounds, what happens is a person under rehab conditions, as they start to feel if there's an issue with the muscle, they'll simply let it go in faster. Right? So there's no damage that's going to occur as a function of that load. Go ahead and try it out at even a 1 to 20 ratio.
Oh, wow, that is really incredible.
So we've had phenomenal success in rehab. Everything from like something this extremely light to people who are in situations where they can't do squats or deadlifts or something of that nature, like competitors, because their hips or knees are hurting them. We're actually able to have them go through the process of what they normally do without the concentric load, build their strength back up with concentric overload or eccentric overloads, and then within generally about a 4 to 6 week period of time, they're back in doing what they were doing before.
Obviously, you're a weightlifter. You had an injury.
Actually not.
You had an injury though, correct?
Yeah, but I'm not a weightlifter.
But you have used...
The machine, I use it for gymnastics.
Okay.
So yeah, my injuries have all stemmed from gymnastics.
And what's the difference between a standard weight or band as opposed to the electric weight? Do you use this in together, or would this be in replacement of those?
Well, generally speaking, what happens is people will start to replace their standard lifting. The reason being is because the biggest benefit of a non-injured athlete when they work out on it is they feel so much better in their joints. You start to be able to push the limits of what your capabilities are. People have a tendency to PR personal record quite often I've seen PRs on a weekly basis for well-trained athletes that do lifting. For myself, I use it for what we call accessory motions for gymnastics, particularly rings. Rings are strength events and stuff, and we can actually configure this so for lifting and that's exactly what I do. So I'm going to look like I lift weights, but I actually do gymnastics, and I use this to train up strength moves in gymnastics itself.
Well, you look fantastic, let me tell you.
Appreciate that.
I think that for me, this is really just the next stage of rehabilitation and strength training.
Yes.
Because it seems as though, number one, your workout seems like it would be shorter. Am I correct in that?
It is shorter. The reason being is because generally if you're lifting a weight, let's say you're doing a 50-pound curl, you have to have 50 plus pounds to lift the weight up and 50 minus pounds to set it down. So you're operating on a plus and minus basis around 50. In this machine here, we can set up a 50-pound lift, but 100-pound lower. So instead of your muscle activity lifting, lowering, you're going lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering. So you're using a lot more energy. So consequently, you can't do the number of reps for the period of time that you could ever do on a standard weight. You simply can't. So generally speaking, your workout time is reduced by about 50%. So if you're coming in and you're going to do an accessories workout that's going to take you an hour, you'll get it done in about 30 minutes.
Now, I've talked to a couple of people that have used this quite a bit, and one of the things they say is, I've never sweat as much, I've never felt like my workout has been as successful as it is on this electric weight.
That's exactly what we found. And the heating mechanism of the eccentric load, because you're lowering it down, there's a great amount of heat that your body is absorbing, and so you tend to sweat a lot. You're also using a lot of energy. The very first muscle fibers that are getting destroyed is the wrong word, but used up and become not to your benefit is going to be the fast twitch. So it builds your explosion power first so any type of activity where you need to be fast, sprinting type of motions or any type of explosion motions for like fighting or anything else like this. This is a great way to build that type of strength. And so you have the heating effect of the eccentrics. You very quickly you destroy the quick twitch fiber, and then you're pretty much left then with the slower twitch, and you get fatigued very rapidly. And then you try to go off and do other accessories, it just doesn't happen. So if you're training any type of activity, and we find it particularly with the powerlifters that would come in, train 6-7 days a week sometimes, but certainly 6 days a week, we reduce their workout times by 15 to 20 hours.
Next, John took me to another electric weight machine that they use for glute ham exercises. In this exercise, the machine controls your descent as you lean forward, then it helps you back up. For sports like football, where players frequently get hamstring injuries, this machine could be a game changer.
Holy shit. Wowzers! I might actually get a Kim Kardashian ass. I thought it was not possible.
Oh, it's possible.
Finally, it's time for me to get under some iron and try out the assisted feature. This is where it gets crazy. The machine is acting like a robotically perfect spotter. It allows me to lower a lot more weight than I could lift, overloading my muscles. Then it pulls the weight off so I don't get killed.
That is so cool. I cannot believe that. That's rad. Look at all this weight. I'm gonna show this to my husband. Look at I lifted. Goosh, goosh. I honestly, it's a totally different workout.
Yes.
There's just something, my body is even reacting differently from, it's not a tired feeling. My muscles are fatigued, but I'm not exhausted.
No, and what you find is that it doesn't destroy you for doing more activity during the day.
Yes.
You wouldn't be able to go out and do a lot of accessory work. You just kind of wiped out.
Right.
But you can go about your dailies. It's not like you're just going to go sit in a chair and be done.
Because I love weightlifting, but I felt like I was always exhausted afterwards. And this, I feel more energized.
Interesting.
I feel stronger and tighter too. just that the whole body is engaged. Whereas usually when if I were to do something like this, I would just feel like I was dying up here.
Sure.
But your whole body is what's forcing you to do the lift more.
Want to try?
Think I could do 155? Can you see it? Hurry up before it falls down. It'll be like a.
It'll be like Popeye.
I had some spinach this morning in my smoothie. All right, you ready?
Yep. Good. Squeeze. Nice. Excellent. Good.
Whoa.
Squeeze. Push it up. Nice.
Is unfreaking believable. That's so unbelievable.
So what we
I'm
do is-
telling you, John, like I feel like every NFL team should be talking to you right now.
They will be once they get this.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Especially because you were talking to me earlier about speed. It seems like that you could reach that quickness faster with this.
Exactly right, and we do.
Yeah.
And you can see the 155 you manage it very, very nicely. So what we would do would be to continue to increase the eccentric load until you are unable to stop the, and then that would be your eccentric point, failure point. And then we just week by week we start pushing that point out and out. And as we push that point out, your concentric strength grows.
Would this help someone too that's like a sprinter or a runner or okay? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're big and bulky. It
No.
can be help.
No, it's primarily explosion. We don't yet know. I mean, there's a bunch of questions for like marathon runners and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of benefit we would be for like marathon type stuff.
Right.
I mean, you can overload anything for any duration of time. So I can't really answer that. But for this basketball, football, baseball, type,
Yeah.
hockey, anything where you have to be quick and explosive, this is definitely the ticket.
Yeah, because it's not just about bulking up. It is just about the quickness and the strength that you have for whatever sport that you're doing.
Exactly. So the bodybuilders will tend to do like a 30 to 60% overload for lots of reps, 15, 20, 25 to 30 reps. And the powerlifters will tend to do like a 90 to 150, 200% overload for like anywhere from 1 to 2, sometimes 3 reps, but generally 1 to 2 reps on strength gain. So it's just a difference of what they're trying to accomplish. People are trying to get bigger, versus
Right.
people are trying to get stronger. Similarly, what we found is that the bodybuilders start putting in PRs, so they're getting bigger and stronger, which is kind of interesting. So yeah.
Well, it's funny because at first when I heard about you, I was like, oh, this guy's a bit of a mad scientist, but I think that it's not. It is absolute body science that you're mastering. You're helping us become stronger, faster. Rehabilitation is then faster as well. It's incredible. And it also makes me realize too how amazing the human body is.
Yeah. There's so many questions that we're just starting to scratch the surface on, as far as like what kind of dosage are you looking for, what kind of volume are you looking for, what kind of days are you looking for. There's a lot of questions that we're going to be able to answer because we've got this repeatability now.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
This was
Pleasure.
so cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was great.
Absolutely. Take care.
We'll be keeping our eyes on John, his electric weight machines, and the athletes and universities who are putting them to the test.